1 year ago, the United States elected Donald Trump as president. 12 months later, Trump continues to lead a divided America, one marked by widespread protests and polarization. But the recent slaying of right-wing public figure Charlie Kirk appears to have fueled support for Trump, especially among young people. NHK met with the next generation of U.S. conservatives to understand where the movement is headed now.
This is where Charlie Kirk spoke his last words. Kirk was a hugely popular conservative figure and one of Trump's most influential allies. He was killed here in the western U.S. state of Utah in September.
Good morning.
Phil Lyman, a former conservative Utah state legislator, knew Kirk.
Yeah, he was sitting right there when he was shot. Yeah. There it is.
Lyman says he still hasn't recovered from the shock. He thinks Kirk's death is tied to widespread political division across the United States.
It's almost like a hatred, and it's built up into this division. I live my life this way, but the way you live your life is a threat to me. And I think it's going to be profound for a long time to come on that group of kids, because they are wrestling.
Oh, say can you see by the
At Kirk's memorial service, the president took the stage, praising Kirk for unifying conservative supporters.
Charlie's message has not been silenced. It now is bigger and better and stronger than ever before. We go forward strengthened by his faith and bolstered by his courage and inspired by his example.
Turning Point USA, the conservative organization that Kirk founded, says Kirk's legacy is now more popular than ever. The organization says its number of chapters in universities and high schools has tripled from around 2,000 to 6,000 in the 6 weeks after Kirk's death. Some of the young people signing up say they sympathize with Kirk's politics.
Definitely at school, I feel very pressured to be from the teachers to be liberal. I realize there's so many people like me who think the same way as me.
I need to step up. I need to be a person, especially a young person, to turn America around and try to influence others.
NHK visited Turning Point USA's headquarters last month. It's a sprawling complex with 6 buildings that house Turning Point's bustling operation. It's where they film their show, plan events, and design official merchandise. It's a production floor for contemporary U.S. conservatism, one with vocal opinions on immigration, foreign policy, and the left.
The youngest conservatives, self-described conservatives, are basically the most peaceful group. And it's the left that's actually continuing to otherize in this fascist, Nazi, bigots. Totally. It's totally blackmail.
Andrew Colvett took over as the host of Kirk's program after his death. He believes the ideology of Make America Great Again, or MAGA, is a powerful message for young people.
What our first interest, our first concern needs to be the people of America and the young people of America, because they're going to be the leaders of tomorrow. And we want them leading us down, a path that is American, not un-American. We want MAGA, national populism, conservatism.
Hey, what's going on?
Following in the footsteps of Kirk, an increasing number of influential young conservatives are getting involved. Kai Schwemmer is a university student from Utah. For the past 5 years, he has been broadcasting online about politics.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Out of Touch, 2 days in a row.
He has over 30,000 subscribers on Instagram and X. Every week, he hosts a show to discuss news and politics from a conservative perspective. On this day, he talked about Zoran Mamdani, New York City's newly elected liberal mayor.
Mamdani is charismatic. Mamdani is populist. They will not lose the vote of middle America because they're not going to be hating on white people. It's like Trump was able to speak to disenfranchised white voters.
Schwemmer says with the Democratic Party's recent win in New York, it's important now for young conservatives to unite under President Trump and carry their current momentum into the next election.
We're at a pivotal moment in this country, and whichever direction it goes, the young people are going to have to live through those decisions that we're making right now for the rest of our lives. We will have an election in 2028, and we are going to have to continue this movement to preserve what America is.
And for more on this story, I earlier spoke with NHK World's Ebizuka Megumi. You were just in the United States to cover the conservative movement among the young people there, but what's the overall political climate there right now?
It's pretty clear that Turning Point's popularity is growing and the conservative ideas are spreading across the United States. While reporting for this story, I saw many students registering on the spot for events and activities, and I felt the momentum. Kirk was a charismatic conservative. But it seems like his influence is actually spreading even after his death. For this report, we focus on the young conservative movement, but momentum is also growing among those who oppose Kirk's right-wing ideas and the Trump administrations. We've seen no-king protests in the recent weeks across the U.S. Those reported drew 7 million people. And some experts and Democratic supporters have criticized Trump for his position on controversial issues like diversity and immigration. I think the reality is that the political division in the U.S. and the gap between these two viewpoints is more intense than ever.
Right. And meanwhile, New York City just elected Zohran Mamdani as self-described Democratic Socialist as mayor. It's 1 year until the midterm elections, but will support for Trump among young people continue?
Looking at President Trump's approval rating, the average of various opinion polls showed that it was over 50% at his inauguration in January. As of November 9th, it has fallen to 42.9%. But a declining approval rating from initial expectation is common for almost all administrations. And his approval rating among Republican supporters is nearly 90%, suggesting that he is as popular as ever. Going forward, it will be necessary for Trump to produce real economic results to maintain the support. Meanwhile, Mamdani's victory in New York can be seen as an indication of dissatisfaction with inflation and with economic measures that Trump promised during the election campaign. I think how people feel about their lives in the coming months will influence whether or not they end up voting for the Republican Party during the next election.